741 Syrian Catholic Pope Saint Gregory Roman, 3. In 1058 Casimir I the Restorer, Polish nobleman Duke of Poland, 1034-58, dies at 42. In 1170 Owain Gwynedd, King of Gwynedd, dies at about 70 B.C. 1100. In 1290 Eleanor of Castile, Queen of England as the first wife of Edward I of England, dies at about 49 B. 1241. In 1499 Edward Plantagenet, English, 17th Count of Warwick, last Plantagenet heir, beheaded for treason at 24. In 1514 Hartmann Schedel, German humanist, historian and physician, compiled the Nuremberg Chronicle, dies at 74. In 1545 Jacob van Liesveld, Flemish printer and publisher of the first complete Dutch translation of the Bible, beheaded for publishing unauthorized versions of the Bible. In 1559 Erasmus Sarcerius, German Lutheran theologian and reformer, dies at about 58. In 1574 Georg Major, German Protestant theologian, dies at 72. In 1585 Hernando Franco, Spanish composer b. 1532. In 1641 Robert Dowland, English luitist son of John Dowland, dies at about 50. In 1667 Jean de Thévenot, French linguist, traveller and scientist Voyages, dies at 34. In 1675 Basil Feilding, 2nd Earl of Denbigh, English Civil War soldier c. 1608. In 1675 Leonard Hoare, American president of Harvard University, dies at 45. Italian Baroque sculptor, painter and architect St. Peter S. Baldachin, dies at 81. In 1695 Anthony Wood, English antiquarian, dies at 62. In 1695 Giovanni Paolo Colonna, composer, dies at 58. French soldier and Governor-General of New France 1672-82, 1689-98, dies at 76. In 1716 Gisbert Cuyper, Dutch classicist and historian, dies at 72. In 1785 William Whipple, merchant judge signer U.S. Declaration of Independence, dies at 55. In 1788 Charles C. of Nassau-Weilburg, Governor of Maastricht, dies at about 53. In 1801 D. Odat Gratet de Dolomieu, French geologist, discovered mineral dolomite, dies at 51. In 1815 Johann Peter Salomon, composer, dies at 70. In 1827 Dolfbeer Schneesohn, Lubavitch leader author Emery Binner, dies. In 1850 Ladger Duvernay, Canadian printer, newspaper publisher and revolutionary, dies at 53. In 1860 Ludwig Rellstab, German music theorist, dies at 61. In 1861 Robert F. Acher, Czech composer sacred music and music theorist, dies at 54. In 1867 John Drakesloot, first military governor of California Union Navy, dies at 86. In 1870 Fr.D. Rick Basil, French painter, dies at 28. In 1876 Karl Ernest von Baer, Estonian-German embryologist founding father of embryology, dies at 84. In 1878 Marco Aurelio Zanni da Ferranti, Italian classical guitarist and composer, dies at 78. In 1878 Orson Hyde, American religious leader b. 1805. In 1880 Aires de Ornelas e Vasconcelos, Portuguese Roman Catholic Archbishop of Goa, dies at 43. In 1898 Conrad Ferdinand Mayer, Swiss writer, dies at 73. In 1899 Adrien de la Rey, eldest son of Beau General Coues de la Rey, dies in the Battle of Modder River, Cape Colony now South Africa at 19. In 1899 Robert Brank Vance, American politician U.S. representatives from North Carolina, 1873-85, dies at 71. In 1907 Stanis Orwisz-Bierski, Polish dramatist, poet, painter, and architect, dies of syphilis at 38. In 1912 Otto Brahm, German critic, theatre director founded New Deutsche Rundschau, dies at 56. In 1912, Walter Benona Sharp, American oil tycoon, dies at 41. In 1915, Luigi Capuano, Sicilian author and critic era Univolter, dies at 76. In 1915, Mubarak al-Sabr the Great, Emir of Kuwait b. 1896. In 1916, Marthinus Eunice Steyn, South African politician and president of Orange Free State 1896-1902, dies at 59. In 1918, Alexis Contant, Canadian pianist, organist and composer, dies at 60. 1921, Abdu el-Bar, Persian successor and head of the Bar faith 1892-1921 from his father Bar Ullh, dies at 77. In 1927, Arthur Wichmann, German Dutch geologist, New Guinea, dies. In 1927, C. E. A. Wichmann, German Dutch geologist, dies at 76. In 1928, Frank Friday Fletcher, American Naval Admiral, Medal of Order for Battle of Veracruz, dies at 73. In 1935, Erich von Hornbostel, Austrian ethnomusicologist, dies at 58. In 1936, Pedro Muoz Secker, Spanish comic playwright, Don Mendo S. Revenge, executed by the Spanish Republican Army at 55. Canadian-American physical educator and inventor basketball, football helmet, dies at 78. In 1940, Nicolae Iorga, Romanian writer, literature historian and Prime Minister of Romania, murdered by fascists at 69. In 1944, Benin, Dutch opposition leader LKP, shot to death in Apeldoorn. In 1944, Brouwer de Koning, youngest Dutch radio operator, executed at 25. In 1944, Lode Zeelands, Flemish author and journalist Obscure Blood, dies at 43. In 1945, Dwight F. Davis, American politician, 49th United States Secretary of War and founder of the Davis Cup, dies at 66. French general and WW2 hero known as the Liberator of Paris, dies in a plane crash at 44. In 1950, Eleanor of Montenegro, Queen of Italy, as consort of Victor Emmanuel Roman III, dies at 79. Italian-American nuclear physicist, gun fission, Fermium Nobel Prize 1938, dies of stomach cancer at 53. In 1959, Lester Vale, American actor, Dance Fools Dance, Consolation, Marriage, dies at 60. In 1960, Richard Wright, American author, native son, Uncle Tom S. Children, dies of a heart attack at 52. Queen of the Netherlands 1890-1948, dies at 82. In 1963, Fred Uttle, TV host Ked, dies at 55. In 1963, Karen Kupzonet, American actress Carol Gertrude Bergshaw, murdered at 23. In 1964, Charles Meredith, American actor, Court of Last Resort, dies at 70. In 1966, Vittorio Giannini, American violinist, composer, the Meded, and educator, Curtis Institute, 1956-64, dies at 63. In 1967, El On Mbar, Gabonese politician and first president of Gabon 1961-67, dies.